Good morning, guys. Here I am in my car again. It seems to be easier. And for me, I don't know, when I video in my office or something, I don't know, I just don't like it as much. And by that time, all the fresh news is kind of forgotten throughout the day. So here I am. It's not scripted. I just want to give you a quick Wednesday update while I head out to the California Association Realtors legal update with our attorney. Always changing laws in California. So we're coming off of the State of the Union, and the housing market was not spoken about very much at all. But a few things were said, and they correlate with some of the stuff I put in my Monday market update about, I think the president had mentioned that the average homeowner is saving about $5,000 on average. And of course, that's national numbers. So when the median home price for the nation is 400,000, it doesn't really resonate so much here. But we could look at those in different ways for you locally, where you're looking at a much higher price point. And I'll tell you that those savings are going to be much higher than the $5,000 that he had mentioned. That also being said, we are on our very second day, full 48 hours of being under the 6% range, which is like 1 full% from where we were last year. And so, how's that translating into what I'm seeing in the market today? Well, right now, inventory is just booming, booming, booming. So last week, I want to say we had 48 homes come on the market. This is just single family and condo townhomes. And then the week before that, we had 48 homes. And just in the last 3 days, we've had like 33 homes. So we're getting lots of inventory, which is always great for the market. It's good for buyers. It means that sellers are returning. And I thought that was really interesting because our refinance uh, applications are up 150% from last year, which means to say to me that people are getting more comfortable with where we are on the rates, and the leveling of the pricing has become our new norm. We're not coming off of that inflated market that we were just, coming out of COVID, where numbers were just climbing like crazy. Last year was tough. It was a really tough market for sellers, for agents, for buyers, for everybody. And so we have not slid, but we have rebalanced. And so you're seeing them right now. And what I want to say about that is that relates to, the three things I talked about in my last video. Incomes are coming up. Prices didn't, go down, but they certainly did not skyrocket up. You kind of saw like a flattening of that, and then the interest rates. So those are the three components. I was just want to remind people that it's not, just one area or another. It's got to be all three. So with the equity, because most homeowners are interested in that, sellers, I want to call them too, but also buyers, is that there was some appreciation last year on the national level. We didn't see it as strongly on the North Coast because we had such a spike for those previous years. So the recent reports came out from January, and on a national average, we did see values up 1.3. And so when we compare that to the inflation, that's below what we're seeing. So, we had so much equity built so fast that I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm glad to see that property owners are still maintaining their value, not in all pockets, and certainly California, is one of those areas that is having to rebalance a lot because we did have a huge spike in those winners. But there was a recent study done by scholars. Now, they call them the experts. I think the experts are people like me who are out in the field doing open houses, meeting people, talking to homeowners, talking to buyers and sellers, dealing with my lenders and trying to put real life circumstances into place. But these are, scholarly people who have projected that for this year we will see property values on average still continue to rise. Now, it's not going to be the typical 2 to 3% year over year, but they are projecting that we'll see like a 1.8. So that's encouraging because there's a lot of people out there that are saying the sky is falling, and other circumstances could always factor into this, but this is what we're hearing. I just want to go back to the $5,000 that Trump discussed yesterday, the $5,000 and how that equates. I'm just going to balance it out to what we were talking in my letter to you guys on Monday. We were talking about the $30,000 affordability that Zillow talked about. And so they're two different things. And of course, they're different in each area. But $30,000 of more buying power is really focused on your purchase price, where the administration is looking at what your payments are out day in, day out. So those are the ways that I compare those two. The other one thing that I wanted to talk about was when the only other time that I really heard him bring up the housing market outside of the interest rates, which I think is not shocking news. Everyone kind of knows that we're doing really well right there. But was when he was talking about the big corporate picking up the properties. And, I think it's interesting. It was bipartisan. Everyone stood up for that. So that's a great thing, that they're focusing in on it. I don't know how much impact that will have in our particular area because we're not really like in areas where lots of land and plots are being picked up. However, the percentage of that is so small. They like to talk about it, kind of make the big corporation the enemy. But when you look at it on paper, the numbers are really small. So I'm not trying to say that anything was falsely recorded. And if they want to do that, I'm cool with that too, because when I did the foreclosure era in 2008 through 2010, a lot of wealthy investor corporations were able to pick up those discounted properties, and it took the opportunities away from the people who did want to enter in those opportunities. So I see it as being a positive thing no matter what. I don't know that it's really going to change the opportunity for the example he gave of the lady who's putting 20 offers in, but each market's different. Anyway, I am almost here to go into my legal update. I just wanted to share some thoughts with you about what's going on. I'll wrap this up with pending sales right now, even though inventory is up in our area. It's pretty slow. I'm kind of shocked because I was expecting to see a lot more. Maybe it's been the rain that we've had. I know that, there's just so many distractions right now. But, and I'm not talking about the national, I'm just saying in my numbers for this week, the pending sales, like the things that are actually going into escrow, have only been like, let's say 7 in the last 3 days. That's really slow. That's really, really slow, especially when you have 33 homes coming on the market in the last 3 days. So if you're a buyer, man, you got some inventory to start to choose from. It's going to be an exciting time. Paired with these lower interest rates, I think we're going to see a lot of people come back to the market. So anyway, if that's you, please give me a call. Just give me a chance. If you want to work with someone else, I would never take that personal. I just would love the opportunity to sit down with you. But you know that I'm not just opening that any door for you. I'm not a Zillow, press the button. I'm going to find out exactly what your goals are, what you need, and how we can make that dream come true for you in the right time with no pressure. I hope that this is helpful for you. Take care. Have a wonderful week. And feel free to call me anytime.